what would make somebody be willing to completely commit to me as an individual? I know I can do the job, but it's a different sell, right? You're having to relearn everything about how you presented yourself. You're now
Yeah.
finding your own voice and your own way of doing things. Working on my own, I do need that commitment, because if I work on this, I can't work on something else. It's just on a fundamental, like, human level, got to make things add up and be worth spending your time on. But also, if something's business critical, they want somebody to actively spend time on this with commitment. I need to deliver shortlists. Generally speaking, I'd like to do it in 4, sometimes it's 6, sometimes it's 8 weeks, depending on seniority, number of people, funnel, interest level, and all that stuff. You need to cover the time and you need the space to be
You
able
do.
to do that. And if there's 4 or 5 recruiters working on it, you're just not able to do it. And if your client wants representing appropriately for a role that's viewed as maybe strategic or with a level of risk, because that would be the reason why they'd come to you. Because if it was easy and they could fill it themselves, they wouldn't be having that
Well,
conversation.
but they wouldn't be outsourcing it, would they? No, of course they wouldn't.
It needs to work both ways. But if that change has come back to me, and over the years, there's been lots of times where people have gone, "We're not ready to retain," fine, but then they've come back 4 or 5 weeks later, and that's fine as well.
Even as you're saying it, whenever I speak to any sort of founder or business owner that has got the retained model universal, and that's just the way you do it,
Mm.
it just sounds calmer. It just sounds much more partnership led, as opposed to the frenzy, which I've always thought is the biggest irony of rec to rec. Is why we do things differently at Key Recruitment. So we're not in the frenzy with everyone else. Like, why would you go and do that?